What is up, everybody? We're back here at King Film Sports for the official Euro 2024 predictions here. The tournament starting this Friday and ending about a month from now, so thought I would give you guys all my predictions. We will go throughout the group stage, fill out our predictions for each group, and then fill out the knockout stage bracket with my results from the group stage, and then predict the knockout bracket fully until we crown a Euro 2024 champion here for my predictions. So without further ado, let's get it started. And we started out in Group A with the hosts, Germany, with a relatively easy group here. They got done nicely, as probably their main competition is Switzerland, with Hungary hanging out there as well. The opening match of the tournament will be against Scotland, so that's probably their easiest match. Definitely have to secure 3 points in that one, and I think they will. So my official prediction for this group will be Germany to finish in first, probably 9 points, but at least 7. Could see them potentially getting one draw, but just via the goal differential, I think this Germany team will be a buzzsaw within this group. Do not see them finishing in second or worse. Then I really had a debate between Switzerland and Hungary. A lot of people are touting Hungary as a potential dark horse in the tournament. I could see that. Definitely think they are viable for that second spot, but I just think that this Swiss team is too solid there and could potentially grind out a draw against Germany there. So I see them finishing in second. I have Hungary, as I mentioned, finishing in third. I think they are a worthy team. And then I've got Scotland finishing in last. Obviously, everyone knows that their last 10 matches have been very brutal for the Scottish national team. They have played very tough competition in those matches, but just have not been able to get a win or even a draw in most of those matches. So I think this one could be brutal for Scotland, but it's not like Switzerland and Hungary are the best teams within this competition, so they could get lucky and grind out a second place finish within this group. Next, we get to Group B, and this is definitely the so-called group of death within this tournament here, as we have Spain, Croatia, Italy, and then you've got Albania. And Albania was actually unbeaten in their Euro qualification campaign. I do not think that will pay dividends for them here. They got just a horrible draw. But as for these other teams, I actually have Italy finishing in first. A bit of an upset here. It seems like most people have Spain. A couple people I've seen have Croatia. I do think this Italian side will be motivated after missing that World Cup. I think they will play disciplined, just will not concede many goals here. You've got Donnarumma back in goalie, so I do think that is a big strength for this Italian side. I think they can grind out some of these draws against Spain and Croatia, potentially get a counterattack goal for a win there. So I do think it's relatively even between them and Spain, but I do see some holes within the Spanish side. So give me Italy to win the group there in a bit of an upset. Then Spain, Rodri up top. I have them finishing in second. I just do not think they're overall as solid, though, as some of these Spanish teams of old. So give me them to finish second. And then this aging Croatia team, also a few young players, but I will have them finishing in third here in this group. Still think that they're solid, but just not of the same quality as these top two sides. And then I have Albania finishing in last here. I just think this is a horrible draw for them. Maybe they can get 1 point max and get a draw, but anything over that is pushing it. So give me them to finish last there in the group of death. Next, we get to Group C here, and we've got the English group, and they have a great draw here, in my opinion. Definitely see them qualifying in this group. They should really just be finishing first in this group every single time. So I've got them finishing in first there. Could have a little bit of trouble with Denmark. This Denmark team is a bit feisty in these big tournaments, punch above their weight, so I do think Denmark finishes second there. Serbia could present a bit of a challenge, but I do not see them finishing top two there, but definitely think they are much more quality than the Slovenian side, so I have Slovenia finishing in fourth there. So I think that one's a relatively easy group to predict. Maybe Denmark and Serbia are flipped, but not much past that. Then we get to Group D here. Very interesting group here, as you've got two stalwarts at the top. I mean, France probably the favorite to win the competition as a whole. And then you've got Netherlands, very worthy side in their own right. And then you have Poland and Austria. I'd say they're about equivalent teams there. And definitely they could be a dark horse to win the tournament. Either of those teams could get an upset in the knockout stage if they get there. But with that being said, I do have France winning this group here. I do potentially see them playing to a draw against the Netherlands if this Dutch side does play well. But just given the French attack versus this Netherlands attack, I think against the other two teams, France will run up a good goal differential, whereas the Netherlands attack is probably the weakest part of their team there. So definitely think that Netherlands will play well in this qualification, but I do see them getting second just because that French team is so good. And then Poland and Austria, really just a flip-flop for me there, but I just do trust Poland a little bit more. I think they have a bit more experience within these competitions there. Next, we go to Group E here, and this one relatively easy group here. Belgium, Give me them to finish top. Number one, I do think that they have deteriorated. This is not the same team as we saw in those golden generation days in tournaments of old, but still, very easy group here. I think that they have the quality to get number one within this group pretty easily. Give me Ukraine to finish number two here. I mean, it's kind of like picking straws with these last three teams, but I do think that Ukraine do have the best. Very good on the attack there. Very volatile style of play. Maybe they can upset Belgium if Belgium's not on their game and finish first. Who knows? Then at three, I have Slovakia taking spot over Romania. I mean, that's really just a guess at that point. I really just do not think much of either of those sides there, but Slovakia ranked a bit better, playing a bit better going into this tournament, so give me them to finish third there. Then we get to the final group, Portugal, very easy. I feel like they, most of the time, get an easy draw within these big tournaments, except last Euros, they actually got done very dirty. But in this one here, I have them finishing in first. Then give me Czech to finish second. Turkey, also a very good team. A lot of people have them finishing in second or winning the group. I have them finishing in third there. I just think that Czech is slightly better in my opinion. And then Georgia, one of the worst teams in the competition, give me them to finish last easily there. So with all that being said, let's fill out the third place rankings. As you guys know, the top two teams within each group advance to the knockout stages, and then 4 of the 6 third place teams will make it, and it just comes down to points, goal differential, and those tiebreakers. So you can't think of who are the best teams within this group. You have to think of who will end up with the most points, best goal differential, etc. So in this, I have Serbia getting the number 1 spot of the third place ranked teams, just because I think their group, having Denmark and Slovenia, I think that they may be able to draw Denmark and definitely beat Slovenia pretty badly. Same thing with Croatia, tough draw with Italy and Spain, but I just think that they will be able to beat Albania and maybe grind out a draw against one of the other 2 teams. Then Turkey, as I mentioned, really close with them and Czech, so probably a tie against Czech, or maybe they can get a tie against Portugal, and then they definitely beat Georgia there. And then with Hungary, in Group A, I definitely think they could grind out a draw with Switzerland and then end up beating Scotland. And then I do have Slovakia and Poland unfortunately missing out. I just see that they don't have enough quality and their groups are too difficult for them there. So with that being said, let's get into my final predictions here in the tournament. And we have some very spicy matchups coming up here. I see a lot of upset potential, and I will be taking, in the round of 16, Denmark to upset Germany. I know this is a very bold prediction, but I just do not rate this Germany side the same as other people. I think this is not the Germany teams of old. They do have Füllkrug and Havertz up top, but I do think that this Danish team is built for this type of upset. They will be the underdog. They will probably need extra time, if not penalties, to get this one done over Germany, but I do think that they can do it if they get lucky there, and I will predict that just to add some spice to the video, and that will be very toxic for Germany given that they are hosting this competition there, but maybe that just adds to the anxiety of this match. Maybe the players are more nervous. Who knows there? Then you got Spain and Switzerland, and these 2 teams played a hell of a match in the quarterfinals of the last Euros, and I think Spain won on penalties after Switzerland knocked out France in penalties the round before. I don't know. That was crazy, but I just do not think that Switzerland has the quality here or the consistency to keep up with the Spain side. The Spain attack can get it going here, and it could be a rout in that one. Then we get to Italy and Hungary. I mean, I'm not going to act like Italy is out of Hungary's class in this one, but they definitely are the better team here. It's tough to see Italy getting upset in that match, so give me them there. Then England and Turkey. This one might be more of a tough match than England fans would want to admit, but I do think that they would grind out a win there, maybe 1-0 against that Turkish side. Then we get to these other matchups in the bottom here. And Serbia, Portugal, give me another upset. I do think that Serbia has the quality here, but it's more so me thinking that this Portugal team is overrated here. I'm not even sure how much Ronaldo's going to play up top. I know they have several other worthy attackers, but the Serbian team has some good attackers as well. I do think this one could be a high-scoring affair, potentially go to extra time, be 4-3 type scoreline there. So very high scoring. I do see Portugal being vulnerable on defense, so give me Serbia to win that one there. Then we get to Netherlands and Ukraine. I do think that Netherlands just more disciplined there, maybe get a 1-0 victory against this Ukraine team. Then Belgium versus Croatia. This one could potentially be tough. These 2 teams were in the same group in the last World Cup, and I think it was a 0-0 draw. But in this one, I do think that Belgium just has more quality and overall is a better team there. Then we get to France and Czech. Tough draw for this Czech team. I definitely think that France wins that one easily in that one. Then next we get to the quarterfinal round here between Italy and Denmark. Started out here. A lot of people do not have this matchup. They have Germany, obviously not losing at Denmark, and then a lot of people have Spain in this matchup instead of Italy because they have them winning that group. Either way, I have Italy winning this game. I just think that they are overall more consistent than this Denmark team. Will be able to grind out a victory, potentially in extra time or penalties, but I do just like the composure of this Italian side and think they advance to the semifinals once again within the Euros. And then in this one, Netherlands versus Serbia. A lot of people have this one, Netherlands versus Portugal, but obviously the upset. So give me Netherlands to win this one. Just think that they have more quality there. But I would like Netherlands against Portugal. As I said, I'm just down on that Portuguese side in this tournament. Then we have Belgium versus France. This one is an interesting matchup. I will be taking France to win this one, but would not shock me. I do think that Belgium, if they play very good, as I know they are capable of, I think that they could give this French team a good game, but I do see that France has more quality in that one, so give me them to win there. And then a very tough matchup for England here against Spain. England would definitely be the favorite in this one, but I do think that Spain on the attack could present some problems for this English side. Still, though, I will take England. It would be perfectly like England if they just did bow out against the Spanish team and choked this match, but I do see them winning that one in the quarterfinals there. I just think that they're the better team. So now that brings us to the semifinals here, and we have two teams that are not exactly favorites to win this tournament, not dark horses by any stretch here between Italy and Netherlands, but teams within the 6th, 7th, or 8th best odds range on one side, and then France and England match up in the other semifinal. Those are the top two favorites for this tournament, at 3-1 and 4-1 respectively. So in the first semifinal, definitely think this one could go either way. Just definitely think it's a toss-up here. If it's the Italian side of the 2021 Euros, definitely would take them to win this one, but just think that they've gotten a little bit worse from that. Still do like this team a lot, but I just do think that Netherlands will play a bit more consistent here. I just love their back line and their midfield as well as their goalie, so I will be taking them to win that one. Potentially 1-1 goes to penalties there, but I do think that they are just slightly better than Italy, although, as I said, could go either way. And then basically same one as this France-England match, although I think this France-England one will be a bit high-scoring. We obviously did see this one in the quarterfinal of the World Cup a couple of years back, and boy, was it a great game. Harry Kane choked the penalty to tie it up at the end of regulation there. In this one, I do think that France edges England out here, although it will be very close, but I just think that this French team has more quality than England, and ultimately England just never wins these tournaments, never wins these big matches, so why do I think it's going to start now? I know that might be flawed logic, but at the end of the day, I do think that French are a slightly better team. Hopefully, if you're an England fan, I mean, you want to say that you went through the best teams, but if they're honest, they would just say they would rather play Belgium or someone else, an easier side, to advance to the final here. And then that brings us to the final, in which I have Netherlands versus France. Have not seen anyone else have Netherlands in the final here, so a bit of an upset. And it is worth mentioning that both of these teams are in Group D, so they would have already played. I did mention that I had a draw on that one, so they will settle it here in the final, but I do have this French team winning. I know it is a bit of a chalky tournament, chalky bracket, but a lot of people will probably get mad at me from the upsets from earlier, and ultimately I just do think that this French side is inevitable there after they did get kind of screwed within that World Cup final, losing to Argentina there. So I do think that this is the revenge tour for them, and Kylian Mbappe will be playing great. Recently transferred to Real Madrid, he will be showing the world what he's like, and I mean the French side, other than that, is stacked as well. So that is my 2024 Euro predictions. Let me know what you guys have in the comments down below. Where do you guys disagree? Do you agree that France will win the title? Let me know in the comments. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.